Good morning, everybody. We are live here from the birdhouse. It's the very end of December. It is Saturday, December 30th, and I've got an update for you on some of the different birds people have been seeing in the Rochester and upstate New York area. We'll check in on some of those rare birds that were around a couple of weeks ago to see if there are still some sightings. As always, we love to know what kind of things you're seeing, so you can put your sightings in the comments. Love to know what kind of things you have in your backyard. If you have any questions, you can throw those in there too, or just say hi. So let's get started with an update on the purple gallinule. So the last time we went live with an update, there was a purple gallinule, which is way out of range and was being seen in the Rochester area. And it was more this coloration here than the bright purple that you'll see during their breeding season. But you can see this is their normal range. They're usually in Mexico, Central America, or South America this time of the year, or Florida, Cuba. But there was one around the Braddock Bay area, and it really hasn't been seen in the past couple of weeks. So I'm not sure what happened to it, but it looks like that has not been seen recently. So the purple gallinule is not to be found, at least recently. It could be kind of hanging around somewhere, just not spotted, but at the moment, people are not seeing it out at Braddock Bay. But people are still seeing harlequin duck. This is one that you can see around Webster Park, especially, is where they've been seen recently. So you can go out to try to find them, especially if you have a spotting scope or something like that, that'll let you see from a large distance, a far distance away. That is helpful with waterfowl this time of the year. But you can still go out there and possibly catch a glimpse of harlequin duck. So those are somewhat rare bird, uncommon bird, I guess I should say, that is still hanging around. No evening grosbeak sightings. I've been trying to keep up on these. These are some of the birds that will have eruptive years, where we have some years where they are common, fairly common, and some years where there's really not any seen. So far, haven't been any seen recently as far as evening grosbeaks go. Same with pine grosbeaks. So we're not having an eruptive year for these quote unquote winter finches here in the Rochester area. White wing, same with white wing crossbill, red crossbill. There were some red crossbill sightings about a month ago, I want to say, but nothing as of late. But keep your eyes out. You never know what you might see. Same with red poles. Red poles are one that can definitely have big eruptive years, and you can see these at your feeders during those eruptive years if you've got Niger seed out, but not any sightings of red poles either in the area as of late. So that being said, things to be seen at your feeders that look kind of similar to some of these birds I was just showing are going to be house finches. Lots of house finches around year round. Purple finches are more common in the wintertime, so these have been seen around the area in scattered spots. Look for them at your Niger feeders, or if you have some kind of a sunflower feeder or safflower feeder, that's perfect for these purple finch. The female is there on the left. She's got a pretty bold stripe above her eye, and the male is much more purpley or a raspberry color than, say, your house finch. And the house finch also has more stripes on it. As far as the male goes, if you look at the purple finch here, the male doesn't have those dark stripes on it like the house finch does. So a couple finches that you are likely to see this winter. And then pine siskins as well. If you've got your Niger feeder out, look for something that kind of looks like a goldfinch but is more stripy. Very well could be a pine siskin. People are reporting lots of dark-eyed junco, especially underneath their feeders, hopping around. Same thing with white-throated sparrows, white-crowned sparrows you might see, but more so dark-eyed juncos are pretty common, and people are also reporting those white-throated sparrows also. And cardinals. We have cardinals here all year round, of course, and let me take that off. This picture was sent in by Mark J. Says, cardinal waiting at the feeder at home. So cardinals, you might see grouping up more during the winter months. They're not as territorial as they are in the spring when they're fighting for mates and nesting sites. So it's not uncommon to see a nice big group of cardinals in the wintertime. And some other things to be on the lookout for at your feeders: nuthatches. They love suet. They love peanuts, sunflower hearts. You might see the white-breasted nuthatch as well as the red-breasted nuthatch, which is more common in the winter months. But if you see something else crawling around on the tree that's not a nuthatch, it very well could be what's called a brown creeper. And you might not even see the brown creeper in this picture, but it is on the left-hand side here. It blends in really, really well with the bark. If you think of nuthatches, they will climb down a tree. A brown creeper will climb up the tree. But they blend in super, super well with the bark. But here you can see it a little bit better. But there's been quite a few sightings of brown creeper around too, and we'll probably continue to hear of brown creeper sightings pretty often throughout the winter. So keep an eye out on the trunks of your trees. I get them here and there crawling around on my trees throughout the winter and the spring. So that's a brown creeper. Look for it climbing up the tree, not down like a nuthatch. Mark J also sent in these pictures of eastern bluebirds at Tinker Nature Park. Some people do get bluebirds all winter long. Some of them will migrate a little bit further down south where it's a little bit warmer and there's some more food available, but some people have them all year round, especially if you have a good source of berries. If you have a berry bush, they will eat those in the winter. People who have heated bird baths out, we hear that bluebirds love those heated bird baths, and you guys send your photos in here and there of that. So if you do have some bluebirds around that you've seen, putting out a heated bird bath can get them to kind of stick around your house a little bit better, because they do really love coming to those heated bird baths in the winter. But these are some photos sent in recently from Mark J of eastern bluebirds at Tinker Nature Park. So it looks like they're having some stay the winter. And just like how you might see bluebirds over the winter, you might also see robins. We've been having people say that they've been seeing robins still, which isn't totally crazy, because some will stay over the winter in general, but our weather has been so mild this year that they can kind of still hop around on the ground and look for worms and things like that. So don't be surprised if you do see robins still right now. And if you are seeing some birds coming to bushes with berries, you might also see cedar waxwings. They love berries, and they usually will form flocks and make these kind of high-pitched little chirping sounds, and they are known to totally defoliate the trees of berries very, very quickly before moving on to their next spot. So cedar waxwings we'll have here all winter long also, so keep an eye out for them if you have any kind of berry producing trees or shrubs in your yard or out where you're hiking. And then there's the birds of prey. As we get more into the winter months, we get more and more reports of birds of prey coming to feeders. This picture was sent in by Karen, who says our backyard has become very popular with the hawks. And it looks like this is probably a juvenile Cooper's hawk, would be my best guess. It's hard to tell the size. It could be a sharp-shinned hawk, though, as well. Also juvenile, but both of them are known to come to backyards to prey upon songbirds. So very, very common occurrence this time of the year, which can be upsetting. There's really not much you can do to keep them away, because their songbirds are their natural prey items. But if you do want them to kind of scatter and go elsewhere, the best thing you can do if you see them around is to take your feeders down for a few days, let them kind of disperse, and then you can put your feeders back up. They might ultimately come back, but hopefully it'll take a couple of days. Speaking of birds of prey, here is a red-tailed hawk at the Erie Canal, sent in by Mark J. You can see that nice band there, which identifies it as a red-tailed hawk, as well as that beautiful, beautiful red tail. So red-tailed hawks, absolutely, we have here all year round. And then around the same size as a red-tailed hawk, so if you see something that's about the same size, but the coloration looks different. Could very well be a rough-legged hawk. They come down here for the winter months, so this is south for them, and we'll have them in the winter. And there's been scattered reports of rough-legged hawk all around, especially out by the Braddock Bay area. There's been quite a few reports of rough-legged hawk. So if you go to Montezuma or anything like that, if you're driving around there, I know the drive is closed, but if you're hanging out in that area and doing some birding, check out, look out for some rough-legged hawk because they're around. Short-eared owl is another bird people tend to go looking for this time of the year. There's been reports of short-eared owl in various spots, and you can see we're in their range for the winter. We're just kind of teetering on that edge where the purple here on the map is where they are year-round. So we're not really a year-round place for the short-eared owl, but they do come down here in the winter, and you can find them in open fields and meadows as they're hunting for their prey, especially right around dusk. So there's some short-eared owl photos sent in by Mark J. And if you do go to look for short-eared owls, they are seen in scattered spots around the area, Braddock Bay being one of them, Burger Park, which is out by Braddock Bay. That's a good place to go see them. The Buckland House, if you're in Rochester, that's right in Brighton. That's an easy place to just pull in, and as it gets darker, look for the short-eared owls. But when you first get there, if it's still light out, look for northern harrier as well, because they like the same type of habitat. So they like that wide open space, open fields, some nice big open spots for them to hunt. This is a male northern harrier, photo sent in by Mark. Again, the males are gray and the females are more of a brown color, but they all have this little what's called a white rump patch here on the back of the bird. There's a bright white patch there which will identify them as a northern harrier. Here's the female right here, so you can see she has that bright white rump patch as well. American kestrel, there's American kestrel around. Merlin are also around, so small little falcons will be seen here and there throughout the winter. But that is everything that I have for you guys today. So a quick little update for everybody. Randy is on and says Happy New Year. Bella Lagrussi says Happy New Year. Liz and fellow bird lovers, yes, Happy New Year to everybody. That is everything for the day. If you are local to Rochester, we have our jigsaw puzzle swap happening all weekend long here at the shop. So you can bring in as many jigsaw puzzles as you want and take as many as you left off. So we've got that going all day Saturday, all day Sunday. All of our holiday merchandise is half off here at the store, so you can get some really good deals on all that kind of stuff. But that is everything for the day. Ed is on and says happy holidays to all as well. Happy holidays. And we'll be back on Tuesday with another live broadcast. Until then, have a great weekend. Happy New Year, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.